Hi, welcome to another episode on my writing robot Mydfir, using color recognition, line following and active sonar in combination with Python. Lately I have had some problems using Python print functions, and it turns out that I use two versions of Python, well, not at the same time, spread over different projects, but it is not making it any easier. And the main focal point there is print. So what I am going to do is actually making sure that print function works in both Python 2 and in Python 3, and for Python 2 I have to add one particular statement from future. And now I do hope that these are only two. Yes. Import print function. So with this I can now hopefully improve the interfaces, the print statements. So let's see if this is actually working, and then I have to do something else as well, because this is Mydfir. I have to lift it and it works remotely via the data link. So I have to save this and run it. And this is this one. And yes, this is working, obviously. So I have to do it here as well, and I made a mistake some time ago with the brackets, so I have to put them here, here instead of here. So that is really worthwhile noticing, and I realize this is pretty boring for someone who is waiting for some video action, but despite that I have to do it. And even this is some Alright, here another one, and on what is coming up, the test, there is a problem with the buzzer as well, because that buzzer is supposed to only sound whenever some certain color is recognized, and that is not happening. So what I need to do is making sure that the buzzer only goes on a color. But then again, how to do that? So I think these are all the print statements. No, you wish. And here more. One E too many, not that it matters, but this is better readable. Here as well. So how can you make sure that a buzzer only works when it is about the color and in no other circumstance? Usually by making sure that there's no color involved. But here I am actually using the buzzer. And the other thing is, I had also put a different car in it. Let's see where that one is. I can't even find it right now. Anyway, this should be working. Is it? Well, let's first try this one. Lifting it off the ground and running it. Line 102. Yeah, I skipped this one. Clearly. And I skipped another one. Ah, and this is the line I was looking for. Different. So, but on the other hand, it doesn't sound buzzer here, because here it does. Set output 7, this is the buzzer, but that's not happening here. So why is it happening that the buzzer goes without being addressed to? That's not good. Well, let's just do another test. 137. Yes. Was I too hasty? I hope not. And another one. Anyway, it should be working. Now it works. Okay, time for the floor test. Once again, for light sources, including poor daylight, and let's see what's happening. Does the buzzer do what it should do or not? This is not good at all. This makes totally no sense. Three beeps. That means red. Or does it? No. 3 beeps. 2. This is as wrong as you can get. Let's turn it around. No. this is so totally wrong. The buzzer only should function on color, not even on sonar, not when losing track. Only on color. So why does it do this? Did I oversee something? Possibly. I know the red light will function on sonar, but this is not even close to what I had envisioned. And the sonar hasn't responded as well for some time now. So why is this? I know there is some delay between because of the sending, because of the wireless transfer of data. But the sonar should respond anyway, and it certainly doesn't do that. So those are two things I need to look into. Sonar, why the buzzer goes, and why losing track, because it has done that for several episodes now, and I still have no clue why. And the boring thing of print statements has absolutely no influence on this. And now, why does it do this? Just going backwards. It looks like very much delayed sending of data, responding to data. Alright, the only thing I can say is back to the code. So, in which cases does it activate the buzzer? Not here. Output 4 is the only buzzer output is 7. And I don't see any 7 here. Only here. And this is with A2, which is exactly where it should be. So what I can do is making sure that here is a command. Color sensor 2, using buzzer to signal. That's one thing. But that doesn't explain why the buzzer goes off when there is no color at all. The only thing I can do is say, okay, else if and that becomes weird, because if I do else if for the other colors, I have to exclude everything else. So lower than 26, between 32 and 46, between 52 and 128, and over 145, then I would say van okay, no buzzer. But that makes no sense, since it only activates it here. These conditions should be sufficient, more than sufficient. So let's go further. Is there any set output here? Or set motor 4, because the buzzer is put into motor 4. Motor 4 is consists of output 7 and 8. Oh wait, output 8. That's another thing. Wait a second. Is that the point? Set output 8. But I'm only using set output 8 for the mode for the color blue. And output 8, although output 8 and 7 make motor 4, which I'm not using. If you say set output, then only that output should be addressed. So that makes no sense in this case. Okay, back to motor 3. Motor 1, motor 3, outputs 1 and 2, and outputs 5 and 6. However, a motor is a motor, so still there is unspecified behavior here. Alright, then sonar. When does the sonar go? Here is sonar. This is blue. This is sonar input. Here it goes 3 times red for the sonar, 3 times blue for the sonar, and then it should say, alright, let's go backwards. One motor the one way, one motor the other way. That's alright. But it does not explain why it doesn't go just without any explanation, or why it doesn't respond anyway. This is, I really have to think why this happens. I can't get it out. I can't determine it when it is like this. Very strange indeed. A simpler way to test the sonar is, of course, to have it print on screen whatever it should do. So let's enable the screen output. Lift it and see whatever happens. So it's no longer on the tracks now, it's just on the table and I hold it in my hand. So let's go. I hold my hand in front of the right side sonar. At various distances. And all I can see is it doesn't see a line. Now it says right, so it loses track somehow. And now we're alright, that is because this is because I am moving my finger over the line sensor. But I don't see distance going by, which is this afstand is Dutch for distance. And now I'm holding my hand in front of the left side sonar. And the left side sonar is, let's take a close look at it. Well, I think it's D2. But that doesn't matter, because I'm not seeing it anyway. So, I think there's something wrong with the sonar, which would be a very big oops. Alright. So how can I test that the sonar is doing anything at all? That's a very good question. Let's take it off the power and power on again. Alright. Let's do it again. Now the red light is blinking, and as you can see I am moving my hand, or a finger at least, in front over the line sensor, or it should detect it anyway, but no sonar. So what I'm going to do now is take one out of it and put it back. Those are two connectors. Right. And that was the left side. So let's see what happens now. Maybe some corrosion. Who knows? Yes, D2 is working. Oh, brilliant. That means that I will have to remove the other one as well from its socket and put it back. That is a brilliant solution. So, a possibly corroded socket. Who would have guessed? So, putting it back in the socket. Alright, test it again. Now please, yes, that is D2. Now please D1 as well. I'm not seeing D1 yet. Why am I not seeing D1? Now I should see D2. Yes, thank you. Clearly D2. I want to see D1, but I am not. Moving my hand in front of the sonar, D1, but I'm not seeing anything yet, so that is a failure. It's a hardware failure, not a software failure. Who would have guessed? I have to find this out. So now with the fixed sonar D2, from D1 I didn't get any reliable output yet, but D2 functions. By moving my finger I know that the line following sensor works as well. So yeah, well, the buzzer also works very clearly. So let's see how it works now. And yes, on the screen I see D1 passing by. And by the way, I did reset it again off camera. But the problem still is, why doesn't it respond to the sonar? It should drive backwards. So that is still a problem. So how to cope with this? I'll let it drive another piece of the track. Yeah, well, possibly I moved it over red, so it responds to red. But then again, it doesn't do a thing. So let's try the sonar again. And it responds very slowly. So I don't know why that is happening, and I don't like it. Maybe it deals with the distance between the sender and the receiver. I'm now holding it on 1 meter distance. So let's do it again, starting and stopping, stopping and starting. But it doesn't do a thing yet. Right. yeah, it is unfortunately time to end this video, but clearly some hardware issues play up, which I didn't expect, and probably some connectors need to be reseated in order for it to function correctly. So that is for another time, next time. But I'm anyway happy that the sonar works again, although the behavior in response to sonar detection is not what it should be. For now, thank you for watching. If you like this video and haven't subscribed yet, please do so. If you don't want to do that, you can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. If you like to donate to keep my blog alive, please visit my website. And this is certainly going to be continued. Bye bye.